How's it going, Pat? You little work from home boy?
Hey, also work from home boy? Work from home boy.
Couple of work
I'm
from
stealing work
home
from
boys.
my homeboy. Sorry. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the show. This is day. We've been in a quarantine for a week. Tom's been in quarantine for like a calendar year. So everything's good. Today, we're going to talk about a music video that pretty much represents the prom dinner everyone listening to this show has all been at. You have a dumb scene haircut, you put on a white tux, and you went to an Outback Steakhouse. And then this band just happened to film their experience, and that's pretty much the show. So, yeah, strap in. I'm excited.
Let's do it. What is going on, everybody? I'm Tom.
And I'm Pat.
We're best friends, and you're listening to the Reminiscent Podcast. Before we get too much into it, someone sent this to us on a tweet, so I want to shout out them and their friend. Who was it? Here it is. Patrick McDonough. Okay.
I feel bad because people have requested so much stuff, and we always tell them that we're going to put it in the doc. And this one happened to be one that just caught our eye because I guess we both had kind of forgotten about it altogether. Like in terms of, I guess we'll get into it, but it is truly, it belongs in a time capsule, but not one that I'd want to open. I don't know how to really phrase that.
Yeah, we're going to dedicate this episode not to Patrick Madonna, but his friend. The tweet from a couple weeks ago read, I introduced someone to Reminiscent today and then sent back the Curse of Curves music video, the best response possible. So I had never seen this video, but
me neither.
Patrick's friend got us on YouTube watching it, and it is definitely something else. And yeah, awkward prom dinner, not much of a storyline, hair.
Not much of a
What else?
storyline at all. It's all hair. It's 80% hair, 2% poison alcohol. That doesn't equal 100, but nothing makes sense in this world anymore. So, and neither does this video. So, whatever. Figured out.
Let me pose the question for you. Is this...
Should we say the name of the band and the song?
Oh, yeah. Go for it.
No, we'll do it later. Go ahead. What would you want to ask me?
Well, okay. If you go to our website, reminiscentpodcast.com, the first thing you see is the best and worst emo and pop punk from the early 2000s. Is this the best or the worst music video you have ever seen?
I'm going to say it's neither. Is that okay?
Oh.
It's just like...
Really?
I don't know. Is it the worst I've ever seen?
I think this is the worst music video I have ever seen in my entire life.
We haven't done club horns in a while, but I think you can lay it down a little bit. Let her rip.
It's insane. It is absolutely...
It's rough. No, it's not even rough. It's just...
stupid as all hell.
I mean... Okay. Cute is What We Aim For is a band that I think we might have to change the website to say 2000s. Because I don't know, we're starting to get into some of those late 2000s scene hair bands.
Okay.
Which, as I'm on record on the show saying All Time Low is one of those less credible late scene hair bands. But people rightfully on Twitter got at me and said, put some respect on the name, I guess, for lack of a better term. But so apologies to All Time Low. And yeah, Cute is What We Aim For. I think if they don't qualify as one of what I like this dumb phrase I've created for the show so I can help categorize some of this stuff in my own mind. But if they're not one of those late scene hair bands, then I don't know who is, right? Like Boys Like Girls, Cute is What We Aim For, right? Am I going crazy or is there actually this little subgenre? Okay.
Yeah.
And Curse of Curves is not one that was on my playlists or library or anywhere. I guess I somehow knew it, the provocative and talkative line. Like when I saw the video, I'm like, I don't know why this is in there, but like there's an outside chance that if my brain started to rot at an older age and I only could remember 5 different things that I kept saying out loud or something like that, this could have been one of them, and I wouldn't have even known. And people would have been like, wow, I didn't know he was such a big Cute is What We Aim For fan. And the thing is, I wouldn't have been. But it's there, man. It's there, and I don't like it. I hate doing this show. This show just digs things up. It's like, oh, do you want to be embarrassed about what is inside of here? This is an exercise in just embarrassing myself to an audience of you. Anyway, it was in there barely, but the music video was not, and to put a face to it was jarring because it's a lot of his face is kind of 80% bad haircuts, 2% poisoned alcohol. That's 82, so we need 18. It's 18% his face.
Awkward faces, yeah.
Yes. And he's super glued to the chair from the neck down. It's hard to, I'm blowing past the fast facts, but it is, or I should let you talk or something, but I just want to spurt out all my takes immediately because they're just.
No, me too.
It's,
we got to reel it back. We got to reel it back. We're getting really far ahead of ourselves.
Yeah. We need to. Yeah, I'm sorry, everybody, but it's we're a week in quarantine. We're doing the curse of curves. Welcome to hell. Smoke them if you got them. Drink up. Airport rules apply to society. I'm stealing tweet jokes and not referencing them at this point. Sorry, everybody, for everything as always. But Tom, please, by all means, restore some order.
I don't really have many fast facts except. The band is from quote-unquote Buffalo, but the singer is from Westfield, New York, which is like the neighboring town to my dad's house and about 35 minutes from where we grew up in Erie, Pennsylvania. So,
do you think he's ever been to Forward Hall?
Oh, definitely. Where else would you go? He's not... Well, he could drive all the way to Buffalo, but he's probably coming into Erie for shows. We've probably been at shows with him before. He's not much older than us.
Interesting.
We've probably been in the same building before as an audience member, which is
we dipped
weird.
Our toes into the same seaweed, algae-filled, sewage-filled, shallow Great Lake. So we share that with him, our Great Lakes brethren.
Yeah, so like the hair, the year, it makes sense. Like a lot of stuff. I mean, I had hair very similar to this, but one thing that caught my attention. So my perception of this band was they were like a small one-off, not a huge audience. My buddy Sam Craig introduced me to them just by a shirt he was wearing. I'll tell that story in a bit, but my perception was this was kind of a small band, and I don't think you've seen my notes. If The Best of Me by The Starting Line had 6.9 million views on their music video on YouTube, how many views would you expect The Curse of Curves to have on YouTube? Like 50,000 views?
3.7 to 4.2. 4.2. Oh, no, I'm like, if it was almost 7 million for Starting Line, I'd guess 4.2 million for this. Maybe 3.7 million.
Okay. 21 million views on, again,
Jesus.
The worst music video that has ever been filmed.
Nothing is just. The world will not know peace.
It is crazy. And again, with our 4 Year Strong episode, we were like, this is the biggest band in the world, or the upsides. This had to have sold millions of records, and they sold like 5 figures. This album, The Same Old Blood Rush with a New Touch, had 210,000 sales and charted 75 on US Billboard 200. I don't understand the math.
These are some sensual young men from Western New York.
I just don't get it, man. Like
those Rust Belt romantics. They're all always. I'm just kidding.
I only knew like one person who even knew this band. I would have expected them to be totally nothing. It's just, oh my God, dude. Wild.
Someday we'll do the Great Escape episode. That is a different band called what again?
Boys Like Girls.
Boys Like Girls. Okay. I got them confused frequently. There was a moment where Great Escape was like baseball teammates' cell phone ringtones and things like that. So there was a moment, but I was so detached from it. But that shows you and I are just two posters that had a very specific, literally shared library. I like accidentally copied your library from your computer. So it's like when we talk to other people about music, it's always like, what? No, that couldn't be more inaccurate. It's like, oh, cool. That makes sense. I've never been right or good at this. So thanks for being here, everybody. Sorry for everything as always. But yeah, that is shocking to me. I guess I could see the appeal because it was like right in the wheelhouse for what the scene was demanding at the time.
Yeah.
Just like a Taking Back Sunday lyricist wannabe with a, Boys Like Girls angle on it or something, a little catchier maybe, it's got a hook. I will say this, I don't want to rag on it the whole time. As poorly as it has aged in tone and subject matter, it's catchy as hell.
Oh,
this
sure,
song
sure.
has been stuck in my head the minute we decided to do this episode. And I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, this music video, not great, right? I'm like trying to physically stop my head from bobbing along to. So like, I could see why. You know what I mean? Like the market was ripe for it, and it was catchy. What do you want? It's not like I wasn't always also like Shake It by Metro Station and stuff. I don't know. It's not like those songs weren't like super toe tappers. So there was a time and a place, I guess, but those numbers do shock me because I would have assumed Best of Me was one of the reigning champs of, like, if we were going to do a YouTube guessing game some episode down the line, I would have thought it would have been a way higher seed.
Oh, that's a fun concept. Guess, yeah, that'll be a fun game.
Best of Me, maybe it was hurt by the fact that we did an episode on it, but like hurt by the fact that there are 3 different versions floating out there, so it's kind of split into thirds, you know what I mean?
Oh, sure.
But that is such a funny, iconic one in the playoff of the 80s movie and everything. So, but hey, we've been wrong about lots before. 1 or 2 or 3 things per episode as it turns out. So anyway, good for them. Good for them, I guess. Let's rack some positives up before we get to the video and try not to burn this whole place to the ground before we stop recording.
So I just have so many questions for you, I guess. When was the first time you heard this song or came across this band?
The thing is, I don't think I did. That's why I was so like, I wrote a thing for the website where it was like, there's songs hiding in my brain. Like,
right.
I don't know, man. I really don't think I did. At baseball practice one day, Great Escape played over someone's phone, and everyone was like trying not to admit they were super into it.
Like such a good song.
Somebody should have said, "Dude, that's a lame ringtone," but everyone was like, it was like this weird standoff. Like, no, it's all good.
I won't change the station if you don't. Like,
right? The classic Farley Spade movie scene.
Right.
We're all crying, scream singing to each other in the outfield while we stretch, but. I really don't have any recollection of, other than like knowing they were essentially the other bands that were exactly like them, and seeing Sam, credit to the Sherpa, other than seeing the shirts around, maybe the shirts should have clued us in, like, hey, maybe this is a bigger band than we think. Like, if there are more than 10 t-shirts being worn by 10 different people at our school at any given time on a dress down day or something. Maybe we should have been clued in on that a little more, but I don't. Do you? Like this band specifically, I remember Boys Like Girls, but Q's What We Aim For. I really only saw the t-shirt.
I have 2 memories, and the first one is Sam Cray wearing the shirt at Marina's house at like a party get-together thing, probably junior year of high school, would have been early on. And it stands out because I was so rarely invited to stuff like this that I remember like every detail of this get together. Sam was wearing a green shirt that just said "Cute is what we aim for." And I was like, what is that? He said it was a band. And I thought it was hilarious because like when we were in a band, they would be like, oh, they're a cute little band. And it's like, no, Mom, we're fucking punk rock. We will burn this house down, But like everyone perceived us as like, oh, those cute boys in their little high school band. And it drove me crazy. And I just thought it was so interesting that there was a band out there embracing that concept of like, no, that's what we're going for. I thought that was like pretty fun, I guess.
Based on the album title and the song subject matter, and the band's name itself, it's like these guys seem to have a singular focus, which
they're trying to,
right, exactly. You could see it on Kenny's face when Starting Line played on Jimmy Kimmel in like 2006 or whatever. It's just like, anyway, seem to have a singular focus. But I think as the video unfolds,
oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know. What was life like for a couple of kids from Western New York? I don't know. It kind of, it's just geographically, it's blowing my mind because I don't think the Rust Belt was necessarily known for like
sex appeal.
Just like this romantic view of like, there's love to be found anywhere, cuteness. It seemed to be just screamo crabcore everywhere we turn, people with face tattoos and stuff. So for them to have come from near Ripley is truly shocking to me, but I'm intrigued by the existence of the band alone. Let alone how they got to the set. I wish I was a key grip or a fly on the wall at this, like the recording of everything. I'm very intrigued by the whole, how this even happened. This whole decade, how everything, I love doing this show. I already said I hated it like 10 minutes ago, but that's secretly, of course, you can't help but go back and look at what you were grooving to back in the day, which again, I'm going to claim that I wasn't, but apparently I was, because I knew almost every word to this catchy little ditty.
There was a very small window in time where I was listening to a couple of their songs, would have been LimeWire singles, didn't have the physical CDs, but they were on my radar for a very little bit. It's catchy, but it's so burned into 2007 with the, what's the guy with the hair that you were just texting about earlier today? Not Me Without You. Chris, what was it, Christopher
Never
or something?
Shout Never.
Never shout
But the fact
never.
that you said the guy with the hair, I'm like, man, look at our last 4 months of episodes. Like, we've been doing the late hairs. We're going to have to reboot a little bit, reset, and do maybe some more of the classics coming up here. But I believe that particular gentleman with the hair I was referring to was Never Shout Never. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And they all kind of blend together for me. They all had their very small moment before Attack Attack came out and Crabcore the entire world. But yeah, for a very small amount of time, when my hair was at its longest, at its straightest, this is what I was listening to. I do remember that very specifically.
Well, it's interesting to split. I guess if we're going to do the show and do this whole thing, we're going to have to split the hairs of like, they did rock harder than Metro Station. So that's going to have to be facts we lay down as we kind of sort through this part of the decade, right? Like, we do have to establish that. Like, this is a rock band. I don't think, right?
I think they're power pop in the same way that, oh God, the other band with the hair, they were on. What the hell were they?
Come up with a glossary or a terminology for just this particular final third of the weirdness.
It's not just the girl. They were on the roof of their school and another really bad music
Click
video.
5.
The Click 5, yeah, Monsters of Power Pop. I'd say they're pretty in the power pop genre.
Are you saying they would dethrone? Don't be messing with Click on me, dude. Don't betray the Click.
I don't know. The Click 5 also had a really good press photo with all white tuxedos. So
maybe they wore those to prom and to the Outback Steakhouse, just like these people.
Should we just start with the video? Because
let's dive in. How'd they get into the house? Why is the house empty? Who are these people? Why are the women so much older looking than the men? Why are there so many different types of alcohol at the table, but no food ever at any point throughout their quote unquote dinner? Is the lead singer the host? Is this his house? Did he just move in? Is it a housewarming party? Again, not a ton of furniture, just a feast table. No one's serving anything. And what is this, man? What is it?
So I wrote a couple notes, but we talked very specifically about the singer's performance and how he did seem to be tied to the chair from the neck down. None of his body was moving except his neck was like making up for the rest of his body that was not in motion.
It's like his face got numbed for a dental surgery and only part of his lips had become unnumbed to mouth the words. I'm very sorry to this man, but it's not going to be good because it looks so weird and so bad. And it annoys me in a weird way.
Oh,
like
it
angers me. Like, the YouTube comment section is going to be much worse than what we say here today, but it's hard to watch.
It's extremely uncomfortable, which if you look at the YouTube comments, a lot of people had very similar ideas with X, username X. His mouth movement is making me uncomfortable. Okay, pretty tame. Sophia right above them. He's going to dislocate his damn jaw. Which is so funny because it's all over the place. And we talked about in previous episodes, pre-episode 100, the very awkward faces made by the guitarist in Taylor Swift's video for We Are Never Ever Getting Back Together. And the faces that were made in Mr. Brightside. A ton of very awkward faces from person to person. Is this more awkward than either of those videos with the faces made?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I want to make a GIF of every time the singer is making just a straight video of just him making faces. It is so bizarre. And
can I say this?
Yes.
I'm going to try to sprinkle in some positives. Of all the swoop past both eyebrow bang hair looks that gentleman tried to use during the scene during this era, it's the most aggressive swoop I've ever seen. Like, he is bringing hair from crazy parts of his head over across his forehead and across the eyebrows. Like, that's a dope scene haircut. Like, of all the styles, of which we see one of each in this video,
yes,
the swoop, I don't know if it's officially called the swoop. He is swooping the shit out of the swoop. Like, to his credit, he's bringing it from like behind one ear past the other side eyebrow. It's impressive. Like, it's illogical and probably very hard to maintain. It's kind of like a strapless dress, I've come to understand. Like, it's just something that shouldn't, it's more, does the look outweigh the hassle it takes to pull something like that off? I'm not sure.
There was a week and a half period where I had hair like this. And when we were doing the Dear Maria episode, we talked about the road trip. I dug up some pictures. I have every photo from my Motorola Razr backed up on a hard drive. I don't know how and when that happened.
Yeah,
but
you do. I'm not even in a negative way. Tom is a very thorough, he could have been a historian. Of all the alternate universes, Tom is a historian professionally 40% of the time, I think, of all the alternate universes, because you are very good at hanging on to things and noting them.
A digital hoarder, as you've called me before.
Right. But I want to shed that negativity and just give you credit. Like, you have a lot of memories that you've saved, and most of the time it's a good thing. I only don't like it when it like makes me look dumb, which is frequent. So that's just my thing, not yours. So credit where credit's due.
So I'll post it on our Twitter @_reminiscentfm. I found a photo from where my bangs come from behind my ear, completely swooping over. But there's not enough hairspray in the world to keep it there. And it kind of broke off into these chunks. So I ended up not sticking with it. I was very sad that my hair couldn't maintain that 2007 lifestyle like I wanted it to. But I'll put the picture on Twitter. It is absolutely incredible. And I'm wearing my favorite hoodie from PacSun, and oh man, it's so good. But he pulls it off much better. All the hair in this video looks great. Looks exactly how it should have with the year that this came out.
Here are the two other ones I wanted to point out. There's the extended Beatlemania cut, where it's the Beatles bowl cut, but it's 5 inches longer, and just, kind of an all-time lowy vibe is the one guy to the right of the lead singer in this video. And to his left is a guy who has that thing where it's only about 1.5 inches long hair, but it's being sucked towards the front of the face somehow. It's just like kind of pointing. It's like a magnetic force the hair is alive and trying to get at something. Like, it's like the mother bee or the queen bee or something is at the nose, and I don't know. Anyway, got lost in my own imagination there for a second. But the hair's trying to come off the head and reattach to the face, it seems. Anyway, it's just a masterclass. If you like, that's why it belongs in the time capsule, is because just the looks of all the prom photos that this represents for so many people is truly astounding. And even the way he's holding the wine just up in the air the whole time, it's like Julian from Trailer Park Boys or something. It's just kind of just like, or it's like a campy thriller where someone poisons the drink and he's like, and another thing, and they're like, oh, he almost drank it, he just keeps cheersing or toasting the whole time. And I guess we should get to the quote unquote story of the video at some point here, right? Like, he is romantically involved, we're led to believe, with the woman at the other end of the table. Let's assume they bought the house together, and she is with him for his money and is 15 years older than him. I don't know. It's hard to say.
Yeah, so they're together, and the whole video is our protagonist, antagonist, shooting the most awkward sexual glances.
Let's just keep it main character.
Main character.
Yeah.
Shooting the most awkwardly sexual glances at all of the much older women at the table. And the whole video is him kind of singing and the women staring back at him. And then it cuts to scenes of the woman naked and the man advancing on her. It's so, yeah, okay. So he wants to bang the other girls at the table. He is.
I think in his head. I don't think it's happened yet. Or maybe he is. I don't know. There's twists at the end. Do we have to reveal the twist? I mean, no spoilers, but it's been roughly 2 decades. So, no, just kidding. It's only been like 1.5 decades. So, yes, at the end, he gets poisoned by the woman at the other end of the table, right? We should establish that. But throughout well, I shouldn't say throughout the dinner because there's no food. They're just drinking wine and champagne, and they've been drinking the wine until the champagne toast. But he's imagined all the sex possible at the table before they do the champagne toast. But I don't know. Let's answer this question then. Has he hooked up with these women in real life or just his head? Of all of his friends, like has he made the rounds of all his friends' significant others?
I don't know. I don't know if it's intentions, if he's already looking at what else is available while his current partner is right there with him. I was kind of led to believe he did. They were memories, not fantasies, but I could be led to believe either way.
Sure. I think I thought fantasies at first as well.
Okay.
But let's establish this. Are they all with these people romantically, or is this a night where the band hit it big, signed their first record deal, they bought a mansion, they got some, companionship, took them over, no matter how, and he's just like, oh, darn, I didn't select the, whatever type of fun we're choosing to indulge in this evening. Maybe I would imagine certain other things. But it seems like the video is trying to hint that there's a long, storied past with all these women, and it's just like their real life. And he has deeply hurt both his significant other and his best friends, ? Like the people he's inviting to his home to break bread. Like you said, you were like, is he the protagonist or the antagonist? It's like, I don't know if we even dare answer that question.
So yeah, are we also to assume that at this awkward prom dinner in an abandoned house, his bandmates are there with the significantly older women? Is he fantasizing about his friends' partners? So he's kind of screwing over everyone at this table.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Yeah. I think, literally and...
Sure.
Yes. I think there's an element of screwing between him and everyone at the table, yes.
So that's the whole video, is them looking back and forth at each other.
That's about it, man.
And then...
Other than the fact that they occasionally raise their glass to the line in the song where he says, your bone structure screams, touch her, touch her. And they all mouth the words in unison, which has to be the line that has aged the worst.
Every member of this table, it goes half the left side looks at the camera and says, touch her. And then the right side all looks at the camera and says, touch her. And I think they reused that same shot 3 times in the same place in the chorus. And I mean, I guess the end is the main character takes a sip of his wine and he is shot back in his chair like a fucking projectile.
Yeah. Like he was locked into the roller coaster ride and then it ejected and shot him backwards or something. Like it was a theme park ride or something. The thing is, he didn't get poisoned by the wine. He drinks the champagne, but the wine has been in his other hand the whole time. He's just holding this glass in the air. So he's poisoned by the champagne. The champagne doesn't spill. He starts to fall and the wine spills. So he's sitting there with no food and 2 full glasses of alcohol right in front of him, which I get the concept of a champagne toast, but are both of them poisoned, or is it one of those like, had he stuck with the wine, he would not have gotten poisoned? Or would the woman at the end of the table, how many drinks at that table are poisoned? Is it just his? Probably, right? Is this like a Clue thing where we have to guess candlestick in the library type thing? Was it one of the bandmates because they're tired of his shenanigans? Or is it definitely the blonde-haired woman across from him? I don't know. Is this kind of a mystery thing that we have to try to figure out? Or is it as straightforward as we probably think and know it is?
Well, I think the biggest mystery is what kind of poison displaces momentum. All right, he's sitting there and then his chair and himself are shot backwards and he is flying
approximately 7 to 10 feet. Right? Like the man, it's not just a tipping chair situation, which would have been odd as well. I guess, yeah, even if you collapse in your chair and go limp, the chair's not moving.
Flying backward.
Yeah. I would watch the hell out of that Sherlock Holmes movie, The Case of the Momentum Displacing Poison. I love Sherlock Holmes so much. I think even if we didn't share a last name, I would love it a lot. Anyway, I don't know. Yeah, maybe it's just there has to be like a momentum, like you can't just remove it, or like you can't break certain laws of nature and gravity and everything. I think I just butchered one of the rules that is, Anyway, I think his hair was pulled from so far in one direction from his head that the just gravity of one of the poles of the earth corrected, and there was a momentum shift there. That I think it had magnets. How do they work? ICP for life. It's just hard to say. Some of these things you can't explain. So leave it up to Ripley, and then don't ask questions. I don't know.
Oh my God. So
I don't like ICP. Just if you are just joining the show somehow for this 1 week, no, I don't. Magnets, you can explain them. So anyway, just wanted to clear that up.
do you think that the video was so bad because they blew their entire budget on tuxedo rentals from Men's Warehouse, and like they couldn't afford a story writer?
Oh man, what would they? Well, let's ask that question. What would, of all the elements of this video, where would the money have gone? Because it is so insanely low budget. Where would the money have gone? They didn't even have fucking food at the feast, man. They show him sitting at the table, and there's no second location. The second location is like a little further from where he was sitting originally at the staircase near the table. Yeah, I think that house has been used for probably many a production, and this is probably the least amount of budget anything filmed in that house has had. I'd have to say. Where would it have gone? Yeah, I guess the wardrobe, right? I doubt they hired a hairstylist, if I had to guess. I just judging by the look of the hair. It's tough, man. But there have been low budget music videos before, so I don't know.
Sherlock Holmes in the case of where the did all the money go?
Yeah. Maybe they were rock and roll about it and just partied and were like, oh man, maybe we'll just be sitting at a table in a house. Like that's actually, yeah, we do have enough money for that, because that is no money at all to do that. So yeah, we can do the drug habit thing and then do this thing where she poisons you. It'll be good. Yeah, I'm not sure. Truly bizarre. Do you think it was the girl at the end of the table?
Oh yeah, the smirk she gives, like she knows what she did, and she's happy.
Well, there you go.
She killed him, which my wife said is kind of badass, but she wrote an alternative ending where the main girl, a better form of revenge is the main girl gets gangbanged by all the other band members as the main guy watches. That's what she would have preferred.
I was going to say, well, I will say this. I was a little worried to even do this episode because of how charged the lyrics and the band and everything are. That's one idea. Sure. I don't know if I want to touch it. I don't know if I want to go there.
Just like the end of the Dear Maria music video.
Man. Well, how do you even respond? There's a time and a place in our young adolescence where people were having diving competitions at swim pools and pop punking it up. And then there was this very different time where they were taking monkeys to strip clubs and poisoning each other at prom dinners with women in their 30s, divorcees, in an empty home and stuff, like playing Clue, playing House. I don't know. It tried to be grown up, I guess, and swung and missed. I don't know what the tone changed. I guess you can't just laugh at fart jokes for the rest of your life, but I don't know. What do you think the shift in the scene would have been that would have demanded these sorts of I don't know. Because even if it was an introduction to the band type music video, which we discussed at length on the show, usually the band's first big hit is just shots of who the people in the band are, right? There's no real storylines to them.
And performing too.
Yeah. There's no performance, which is usually the easiest part, I'd imagine. That's like a third of the shots you're going to use, if at least, or at most, whatever. But they really stick to this table idea where he's holding a drink up for half of it. It's him holding a drink and singing the song. So thoughts on the shallow as a shower line, thoughts on the toucher lines, thoughts on the lyrics in general?
Problematic.
Sure. Moving on to the next topic. Come to think of it, when we watched the video, it was like, that would make such a good episode. But now that we're in the middle of it, it's like, I don't know what we can say about this music video. It was actually, maybe we should just wrap this up, honestly. I don't know. Also, that is such an absurd but very creative ending that your wife proposed. But again, I'm not sure what exactly I'm supposed to say to that.
No, I will say there was like a couple weeks where I wanted to try vlogging, just because I enjoy watching them. I thought maybe I could try something just to see if I could do it. It'd be a fun experiment. And for a low budget film that maybe didn't have proper storyboarding, this and that, from my own experience, I could easily see a situation where you think like, man, I've been filming for 8 hours. It's been a long day. We had to have gotten everything we could possibly think of. And then you go into the editing room and you find out you only have 20 seconds of content that's like actually usable for a story. Because I would film all day thinking like, man, I got it. And it was just like there were so many holes, things that were unexplained, whatever. So I could see if it's truly low budget, they're thinking like, oh, we're just at a table. That will be 3 minutes. And they find out, no, that's like 10 seconds worth of video. So then they just had to commit to every second of footage that they had. And I think that's probably the biggest, making jokes about spending all the budget on the outfits and stuff. That's probably what happened. I mean, they, early career, they're one of two albums.
But they didn't even have to. Why was there no shots of the band playing the song, I guess?
I know.
So,
they could have gotten so much more out of it. I do want to say, like, they attempted something. The music was good. Who really cares about the music video? But I don't know.
What's happening here?
What?
Hoobastank. They set the bar too high. And people who might be joining the show recently think I'm kidding. Go watch The Reason. Go watch it. That is
A+.
It's film. It's not movie. It's film. That's what it is. It's the best heist film I've ever witnessed. And then to come across something like this and see that the freaking Reason by Hoobastank was such a, can I say titillating? Just inspired effort. You're like, there's such a large gap. There's such a large gap. I guess Hoobastank and nu metal maybe were bigger moneymakers at the time than, late scene hair bands. But I don't have much else to say, Tom. I'm going to have to apologize to you this week. All my jokes were pretty much related to the actual procedure of the dinner itself. And then when you mentioned your wife's idea for how to finish this particular music video, that did throw me quite a bit, I will say. So that is probably where it should have gone, but then they were like, well, this isn't going to play on Fuse. So it's like, okay, cut out all the, where it was headed and then just keep the parts where he's singing at the camera. It's like, that's not, I know, it's just, sorry. This is not going to air on TV if we do what we originally planned. So she's probably right. She's probably right. All signs were leading in that direction on it, if we're being honest with ourselves. So.
All right. Well, let's put this one out of its misery.
Yeah. Hey, sorry, everybody. My goodness. I mean, it's been like 40 minutes. So, I don't think we have to be too apologetic here, but ran out of steam. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Tom. I don't know. Sorry, everybody.
Well, give us Song of the Week, and then we're going to head over to our post show for Patreon and talk about what went wrong this week.
Yeah. Well, Tom's going to put some fun prom pictures of that, everyone, the white tux scene kid prom group that every high school had. I think ours had one too. I think, Tom, you've been in one of those every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, I actually had a white tuxedo. I was in this prom fashion show with our friend Casey and did this like little runway thing. And I have really just goofy pictures that my mom took of me in the hallway of our house, senior year of high school, in a white tuxedo, making like tiger claws at the camera and stuff. So we'll throw those in the Patreon as well. But I guess to close it down, I'm actually going to copy you from like 2 years ago, maybe 3 at this point. My song of the week, I was watching, what was it? I think it might have been You're the Worst that I'm still watching, and a very familiar song came on. I knew some of the words, didn't know why. It was Ice Cream and Sunscreen by Martha. And when you recommended it like years back, I enjoyed it, but
no,
I don't know. It's having a resurgence in my library.
That's a dangerous one too, if memory serves. Everything I listened to while when we started the show and I was in Cleveland, everything during that stretch felt dangerous, felt a little dicey, but good song, short song.
I fell into a mood last night where I just wanted to be sucked into my mattress and die.
I hate it, man. I hate that it still can't even happen. It's like I'm almost.
I know.
Like when you turn 30, is it like you don't have to do this anymore? It's like no, it's like more rare, but when it happens, it's like more intense. So it's like the trade-off. There's no real trade-off there. So I'm sorry you had to experience that.
It's fine.
What was I listening to the other day? I Am the Movie. Motion City, I think, came on. I think it was either Favorite Accident or the one where he talks about the pills. But it's like, I'm taking my dog out. Like the weight just, you feel it, your feet are firm against the ground and stuff. You're just like, oh God.
Gravity gets stronger.
I know, it's just like, how? Why? I was listening to like Brown's Talk Radio on like a podcast. It's just like the most boring basic part about me is how big of a Browns fan I am. It's just like, well, I think the tight end play might be a little better this year. Let's talk for 4 hours about it. Just like the worst, mind numbing, something to chew the cud while quarantine continues on. But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry you had to go through that, but Martha, we'll be there for you for sure. On a lighter note, something to feel good about, which you might even like. Stevie Nicks, I guess, recently sent a note out about people to, be nice and be kind to humanity and social distance and whatnot. She called Harry Styles' most recent album, Fine Line, his rumors, which was a bold claim. And there's a lot of people on Twitter who were like, I don't know if that's right, but you should check it out. If Stevie Nicks is saying that, please check it out. The people who liked it were like, we're not saying it's that, but it's dope. So I'm going to say Golden, track 1 off of Harry Styles' Fine Line. It's got a smooth first 6 or 7 tracks. I'm still kind of feeling the album out, but give it a spin. It might surprise you. It's smooth, man. I like it. If you need something to bring you up a little bit, it's smooth, it's nice, it's fun to listen to. So I'm going to say Golden by Harry Styles off of Fine Line.
Nice. Well, that's all for this week. We're going to continue chatting a little bit on the Patreon, patreon.com/reminiscent, but that's it for us now. I love you, Pat.
Believe it or not, this is the episode we prepped the most for in a long time.
I know.
That's the cruel. Anyway, yeah, see you on the other side, brother. I love you.
All right, see you, dude. Hey everyone, thank you for making it all the way through this absolutely tragic episode. Please hit us up on Twitter @_reminiscentfm. Let us know what you think is worse, the hair in this video, the looks on the faces, or the lack of food on the table. God, what a weird one this week. Also find us on Patreon, patreon.com/reminiscent. We chatted for like another 10 minutes after this episode, bonus photos, videos, all that kind of stuff on there. But either way, we love you all. We'll see you next week. Bye, everyone.